Live? Okay, excellent. Well, we're here in our final. I'm here with David's chair. Me and David's chair go way back. You know, his chair is lovely and leather, and the background of his room is much more attractive than mine. He has books. I have a guitar and my Midoriya deck. Behold. Oh, I need to put it away. My Midoriya. Anyway, back to the game. Oh man, you put two of me and not a chair? I wanted to see David's chair. Okay, well, we're about to get into the game. We have Erwin versus King Ghidorah, and that's exciting. Can King Ghidorah live through the onslaught that Erwin can put out? Can Erwin kill 3 heads? Only time will tell. I think they're shuffling up. We can get to their screen probably. In the meantime, man, seeing 2 of me is real. Oh yes, David's the chair. Oh, that's so wonderful. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, what do I think about this matchup in general? Seeing as I have played 0 games into King Ghidorah and 0 games into Erwin, not a whole lot, but I have seen a lot of games played into them. Not this specific matchup, of course, but Erwin's game plan is going to be to play 1,000 foundations as early as possible. And by 1,000, I mean as many as he draws in his hand, and then attempt to resolve a very, very long, very, very aggressive string. This is less effective in the King Ghidorah because if you're not doing 10 at a time each time, then it can be a problem. So you can't be making one singular 20 damage move. You have to make 3 big 15 damage moves or something like that are unblockably fast. So it presents a small quandary for the Erwin player. On the flip side, King Ghidorah gets to tutor a block, right? Which means that the disruption of something like a tri-gravity beam is going to be a lot less effective for the Erwin. So there's a lot more stemming the aggression here for the King Ghidorah than there is for the Erwin. So I think on a fundamental base level, I think the King Ghidorah is favored because it has a lot of just natural mechanics of the character that functionally give it an advantage against the style of deck that the Erwin is playing. But you still have to fight through this +2/- speed character who's going to be able to build faster than you, who's going to be able to attack you more easily, who's going to defend more easily because of the speed. So the fundamentals of gameplay that are not involving your character are going to be more easily expressed by the Erwin player, Max, who's been doing this all day long. So it's interesting. I think that this is what we would call at its most basic level a skill matchup, right? This is one where we get to see 2 players who are very good at the game that made it to the final of their regional, right? Who are going to be able to flex their skills and outplay each other. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I want to look for a situation where I don't want to see King Ghidorah overextend and get 3-tapped, right? I want to see these 2, poke at each other, try to get an out, and then a really clean, close attack string does it in. But if you disagree with me or you agree with me, let me know in the comments. In the Twitch chat, that one, chat, what do you think? Who do you think will win? I'd put up a poll, but I have no control over that. We're seeing here Erwin building the best card in the deck, Enormous Axe. I don't know if it's actually the best card in the deck, but it's really cool to build, right? It's one of those ones where you can destroy it with Erwin, it replaces itself, and then Erwin can potentially replace it again, right? And this new one, I saw Kevin Berberg in our chat earlier today talking about Finally Awake in the deck, that Tim Keefe was poking fun at him because that's the card that he thought that Kevin should be playing in his deck. So that's funny and interesting. I think it's neat for Erwin, right? Because you get the committive card and then destroy it for functional +3 speed and +1 damage to one of your mid and high moves, which all the moves are high, mid. Okay, check this out. Villainous Teamwork being played to take care of Knott's Flask. What a cool little, and we're going to see this every turn of the game now, right? You're not going to be able to use Knott's Flask to mill and find the pieces you need or trigger the pieces you want to trigger if Villainous Teamwork is in. This is a main-boarded card. This is something that I put in a lot of my evil decks into their sideboards, but wow, and failing the block. You love to see it if you're Ghidorah. Love it. Already seeing some really interesting tech cards. Sad Commander being played. No, respond with the card. Remove the combined firepower, brother. It's right there. No, I'm so sad, David. I'm so sad.
I'm back. Did we just play a Sins?
He didn't remove the combined firepower.
What did he remove instead?
He didn't remove anything at all. I've never been so sad in my entire life. I'm sadder than Erwin is on that card.
He just built. He just built Sins of the Past.
Yeah, he said I'd like to draw 2 cards later. He didn't. He cared not for the removal of the discard. How was your poop, my brother?
It was pretty good. I went out and then I ended up getting in a conversation with my wife.
Oh,
and
that's
then,
awesome, man.
And then I thought I heard you and Sam talking, and then I was like, did Sam just come and take my spot?
No, it's just me. I was with your empty chair there for a bit.
What have
I said, we may as well not make them wait. So you joined when you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
You missed pretty much nothing, right? So we had two builds from each other. And then interestingly, the Ghidorah played a villainous teamwork to destroy Max's asset, right? Which was a Knots Flask, which I think is a really cool play, actually, right? Destroying the asset is it's one of those things like when you played Todoroki 1, right? One of my favorite things to do with that character is you don't go to cancel like a huge ability, right? A lot of the time, because most decks don't have one giant thing. You try to put a stick in their bicycle wheel, right? You just do one, it's a little harder for you to function right now, right? Just a little, and like taking away a little piece like Knots Last doesn't seem that tough. It's a very good card, but it's a 1 difficulty asset. It's not killing you, right? But it is something that mills. It finds you the combined firepowers. It triggers the remove effects from the top of the deck. So it's a really cool thing that he's going to be able to pick up that villainous teamwork on any given turn with Ghidorah, assuming he discards it from his momentum, and gets something out of there. But here we see,
if you're gonna poke, you might as well get some guaranteed value.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we have. I assume this is still game 1, looking like turn 3 or so.
This is turn 3. So yeah, so turn 1, I believe Ghidorah went first. Built 4, turn 2, played a villainous teamwork, built out, and then Erwin did just a double build, straight up.
Okay.
And
because against Ghidorah, you got to build out because it's going to take you some strings to get to take one of those heads.
Yeah. So it's not a matchup that I played that often. I played it a few times in locals with some of the decks that I've played around with. But you said earlier with Sam that you really hate playing against Ghidorah. So tell me a little bit about that. Why do you not like playing into him?
I think it's the same reason as like Recovery Girl. It just like it's not he's not unkillable. It's just a slog. It feels there's none of that like we saw the last round where Erwin just took down Ymir on turn 2. You kind of lose that turn 2 potential in a big way, and now we've got an invincible body, an airy. I mean, it looks like we sealed the invincible body, but plus Ghidorah, it feels like you're walking like underwater or something, and it's. It's just not as fun. You can't go as fast. You can't feel the wind in your hair.
I understand. You are into the what I would call the Timmy aggression, right? I want to play one big move, and one big move isn't all I need against you.
Yeah, Ghidorah just feels like a character where it's like I don't do any like super crazy things, but I do slow the game down.
Right. This is interesting. Committing 3 combined firepowers to this is a huge investment, right? Like these are each cards that could have been played deeper into a turn when Ghidorah has, invested into the string. But I think this will assuredly get blocked. It's been given -3 speed.
Yeah, it's very. We saw this happen in the last round too. It almost cost We're going for the
He plays
fourth. I mean,
all four. Man, you can keep
It's
these
getting-
for later.
it's getting, yeah, if you use these later, you could turn an attack that wouldn't take a head into one that would.
Yeah. I guess he's just saying, hey man, you don't have it. No mid block.
But
I
he
feel
picked up a mid block with the Fierce Wings.
Shh, you don't know what you're talking about, David. Well, they're laughing, so maybe they're just yeah. It's fun.
Big move is fun.
Yeah, I guess. What if I don't have a what if. Have we used Finally Awake and Irwin yet?
I don't think so.
Because we could use that on Aaron's trial, I suppose. It's okay, hang on. It should have, I think he did give it the +3 because it's at 3 speed. And oh wow. Really? All right. Well,
Yeah, this feels like the just because you can press all the buttons does not mean you have to press all the buttons.
yeah. So there is a world where, man, and he functionally has another head. Oh my God, we're just building one after all that.
That felt like a pretty good turn because we got to seal the invincible body. Like, I mean, a pretty good turn to like maybe try something.
I'm aghast. Huh.
Yeah, and we just cycled. I mean, between all 4 firepowers, what was that? That was 20 cards that we just went through in our deck, like against a stall deck with an Airy out.
Yeah, and removed 3 cards on the cycle, right?
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this deck ends in and I always talk about mill too fast, but just when you cycle a third of your deck on one turn for no reason.
Yeah. Listen, I like Mill as much as the next guy, and in fact, more than the next guy. But we're walking into it. Okay. Yeah. So in this situation, right? I think that the quote unquote right proper way to go would have been to present the the Twisting Azure Inferno. Say, hey, it got to the number. You can block it or you don't. In fact, if you just take 7 actually and go down to 3, I'm not, I'll take my stuff where it is. My discard pile is full of the combined firepower, so I'm ready to go when I am ready to go, and when I need things to be doing 10 each. But now that you've used all those resources in there, you're gonna have to wait till you cycle to play them again, right? Because it looks like there's only 7 or 8 cards in the deck.
Yeah, why isn't there 2 committed cards in Ghidorah's stage? Because we blocked with Showdown.
Maybe we just didn't feel like responding with the card.
What is going on?
Oh, he said you didn't use your sad commander earlier, so I won't use my Showdown. It's fine.
Because taking down invincible body is a pretty
huge.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it would have been gigantic. He forgot. Quote, he forgot.
I don't think I have ever forgotten a Showdown in my life. I think most of the time I'm like, Glee.
Oh boy. Yeah. I get to respond with Showdown.
Yeah.
It's really funny because Showdown, for pretty much all of the time that I played when it was legal and standard way back in the day, didn't see very much play because of the 3+ block modifier. And I think the symbols also weren't something that people used too much. And in fact, the only time I did see it used was for the action cancel. So it's funny to see so many different things valued so differently because of how prevalent card draw is and because every card has a block now, which is just, we would take it for granted, but it's a gigantic deal in the context of the game historically, right? I've played decks that had like 20 non-blocks in them, right? Which just meant that you had to have most of your defense was on your board as opposed to in your hand, because you just sometimes use your hands that didn't have blocks. But here we go again, man. We're just sending the firepower. Okay, making the check. That if it's the check, it does go to discard pile. Actually, even if it's one of the milled cards, it still goes to discard pile. There's no. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like the Ghidorah is just kind of sitting back, like I'm fully content to watch you do this.
It seems like they're on the same team, so maybe they're not taking it as seriously as you might otherwise, but yeah. So an interesting thing to know. You go ahead, sorry.
Is there like a different? The regionals winners get paid to go to Worlds, right?
I don't know.
I think the regional winners get paid like $500 for travel, whereas the other people who qualify, I don't think they get money to travel.
That's probably a big deal for somebody from a $500 US dollar travel voucher is what they get. It's probably a big deal for somebody traveling from the other side of the world, right? $500 is nothing.
I am banking. This is going to sound bad, but technically speaking, for Worlds this year, we're supposed to have 16 players from the Oceania region. Now, we had 12 players today at the regional. And so I am banking on, even if I'm in the bubble on championship points, that 16 Oceania players will not pay for the travel. I think it's a safe assumption, but we'll see.
That does sound like a safe assumption to me. Yeah, I am. It's interesting to you watch these guys play a little more loose, right, than you normally are used to seeing on stream, as compared to like last week when we were watching, or last week, a couple weeks ago when we were watching Kevin pilot this deck, right? Because Kevin was locked in, right? Every little response was being triggered, and we were thinking turns ahead and things like that into some of the craziest aggro decks. Playing 2 back-to-back Smiling Titans. But Ghidorah just being able to sit back, right, because we're not being pressured too hard is pretty funny as a comparison.
Yeah, because with Airy, it's like we have 4 heads.
Yeah. The Airy plus, we found our speed hate pieces on board and a dissolving the conflict. So even if you get to a late string where you're like attack, risky encounters, or is it maneuvers? Risky maneuvers. Mm-hmm. You just dissolving and put it back in their hand, right? It's like, okay, you destroyed 3 to play that guy on a 5. So this is if you play willy-nilly into this board state, you will not win, right? You have to have a purposeful attack string. You can't just go risky into a 3 to play all the combines that I mill. It's not going to work.
Yeah, you have to sculpt into something here and not waste any movement. Yeah, the dissolving is very funny against risky, because it's like, dang it, I want you to put it in my discard pile and you just kicked it to my hand. This is the worst place this thing could be.
I think my favorite interaction with it is Team Dr. Ichigaki canceling the form from discard pile. So I have had situations where my opponent destroyed like their last 3 foundations to play another risky, and then you getting to cancel it and being like, well, actually,
blow up 6.
Yeah, blow up 6 actually. Okay, well, so we're gonna remove a low block with Ghidorah. I don't know which one this is. It's got a little bit of glare on it, but I do see yellow.
Yeah, the Sword of the Darkness Flame.
Oh, that one's always online.
Yeah, we have.
Interesting that they printed so much Ghidorah support right before he was released. Like, a whole kit of support just for him.
It's almost like they realized that Hiei's kit should have just been less than half health, and so they decided to print a 10 health character.
Yeah. The rumor mill tells me that the same guy who made the Yu Hakusho set is the guy who made all the Godzilla stuff, so it may have been intentional.
Yeah.
I would hazard a guess.
Yeah, once again, we're choosing to use our fire powers again on an attack where we know our rival has the block teed up. It feels a little bit like just banging our head against the wall, but maybe it works out.
I think it's probably just having fun at this point. These guys
Yeah.
are giggling so hard that, and I know they're on the same team. I think that's what I've heard from our guys over there is that these guys are on the same team, so they're just.
Yeah, we just got to wait. Wait for game 2.
Have you ever been in an unwinnable game state as the aggressive player before, though? Like just in a situation where you're just, I can't kill you. I can flounder aimlessly. What did you decide to do in that moment?
Huh. Yeah, let me try and think of a game where I was in that. I don't think I've ever recognized, even if I was in that situation, I don't know if I've ever recognized it.
Okay, sure. You're just always trying to find a way out.
Yeah. like a caged animal or something. Freaking out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we had to try gravity beam using, I guess, forcing Ghidorah's enhance on the little 3 div, like maybe it's a master plan. Maybe this is the turn we go all the way in, maybe there's 2 riskies in the discard pile that nobody knew about, even though I saw 2 of them removed from play. But we're certainly taking the opportunity to do something here with the tri-gravity beam. But Ghidorah still has a dissolving, an invincible body, and an airy.
Yeah, I guess we did damage with the tri-gravity.
You did 9 damage exactly.
Build 1 and pass. Which does, 9 damage is a number you like, I guess. To airy doesn't work, at least for this first head.
I don't like it. I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
I wanted to take off one of those heads.
Or pop airy. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the extra head, the extra child-sized head. Goodness gracious. David, I don't think you and I have ever casted anything together. Ever.
Not yet.
Yeah. You started doing these at around the time that I stopped, and then I came back when you started playing competitively again.
Yeah, I've done one official one, and then just my webcam events.
Right, which I'm sorry I didn't get to be a part of. I know that we were talking about doing it before, but part of my commentating agreement was that I'm not allowed to sell product anymore, which probably includes sponsoring your cool events.
No, it's all good. I had somebody actually donate. I had somebody donate 3 cases of Yu Yu Hakusho set 1 and 1 case of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, well, I think I have some Dark Tournament and Girl Power left over.
Yeah, but I think I'm just going to take the Yu Yu Hakusho set 1 and put out some retro because there's such a big push on next year being a retro year.
Oh. Okay. Well, let me know. Let me know if I can do. I can still donate it as a personal guy, right? I don't want my name on it, but if you guys need more product,
no, I think we're set. I think we're set to go. So put out some retro products out in the world.
Is the event itself going to be retro?
No.
Okay.
No, it'll be standard. It's going to be a fun event because it'll be 1 day after Attack on Titan 2 releases, and it'll be legal. And so we'll just see what cards people open up.
We'll see. Oh, goodness gracious. What are you playing right now at this exact moment? What's on your desk?
Oh, on my desk. On my desk is all the decks that I need to put back. What am I building? Today and yesterday, I have built... Okay, let's see. I built an Aaron, the new Aaron on fire. I built a Chaos Nejire with the new cards today on the charge package. And then I'm building a Life Armin right now.
Cool.
Armin 1, the six-hander.
Yeah, the one who's doing stuff at the top of the deck.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, and you get to look at it before putting it down, so you can like tutor some outwits, right?
Yeah, you could play some outwits. I just really wanted to find a cool knee strike character, and then Armin is like this really cool character with like desperate plea to build something down, and then I can pick it up, even if it like build an attack down, pick it up.
Knee strike. Which one is that? Mikasa's flying knee strike, or is there another one?
Yeah, just the breaker 2, and it gets to be some damage. I'm just not sure that this Armin that doesn't add stats is going to be able to survive in a format where this next format, I feel like you're going to need to output 100 damage to kill some of these decks.
That desperate plea card also can build the attacks that you block with too, huh? So you can block with your. That's cool. Whoa, what a crazy card! That should check a 2. That's an insane card, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be very good for like overhaul, maybe. Armin.
Wow. Well, that's the game.
Anybody.
By the way, the game ended. My plan drew 100% for 50 million damage. I'm sorry, I had to distract you, but yet the game did end.
I felt like that game ended. I felt like that was like one of those sad things where you had to, I don't know, you had to check the elderly person into the nursing home.
Let's go, Grandpa.
Yeah.
He was putting down old Yeller.
Yeah, that game ended 15 minutes ago. That just didn't know it yet.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, the conversation we didn't get to have before we started was who was going to do color commentary and who's going to do play-by-play. And the answer is nobody. Yeah. Nobody's doing either of those things, actually. We're going to let chat figure it out. They can watch the game themselves. We'll talk about the important stuff.
Color commentary and play-by-play. I never even thought about that with Universus. I guess there should be some of that. Functionally,
I mean, sometimes I show up and I ask, and the guy's like, "Hey man, it's not that serious, kid. We're just gonna talk. There's gonna be cards played." You know? But like Barrett is very good at doing the play-by-play stuff, and I'm very good at distracting him.
Yeah,
errant talk, as I'm doing to you. Sorry. But for instance, Sam is just like, I will feel it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate both ends of it, right?
Yeah, I never thought about it too much, but commentary is like, you see Tom Brady struggling right now.
Oh boy.
Even though he was an awesome player.
Well, he took a lot of hits to the head.
He did. Yeah.
He played longer than most people play.
I feel like my body is broken and I'm 30. So.
Were you a big sports guy?
No, I just got
old.
Too adventurous on the trampoline. Yeah. And hurt my knee, and now I feel like I'm a card game player. This is where I belong.
I was doing. I had a personal trainer who was like working me through some Olympic weightlifting stuff, right? And I was like, I don't want to put that bar over my head, man. I'm not 20, I don't think I can do that anymore. And he's like, let's do some squats. And I said, my knees aren't really willing right now, man. It sucks because I do like running, but my knees can't keep up with it anymore. I have to do rowing instead. And that's how I got fat.
Rowing. Yeah, that sounds like a rich person sport.
No, you just show up at any gym and they usually have one of those machines. Not literal. I don't go on the water, man.
You don't have your own personal canoe on your lakefront property?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. this is my 1 bedroom 500 square foot room in that 90,000 square foot house actually. with the lakefront view.
Well, a
Goodness
build.
gracious.
Let's see. So a build for turn one going first is nice. Aries out there, but there's no momentum. The best thing he's got is a fighting for control. Seems like an opportunity here.
Yeah, I mean there is quite a bit of defense here, just like functionally, right? -2 speed and whatever this 1 difficulty foundation is here next to I don't know, this red thing. What's that guy
flips to remove a card in your card pool and draw a card.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Ghidorah card.
Yeah, effectively -1 speed to everything.
Yeah. Pretty good card. I'm a big fan. But okay, we're going to see Vile Seizing blocked with Vile Seizing. People love that. It gets them going.
It's great when cards answer themselves.
That's what they said for Attack on Titan 1, right? Every card had to block itself.
Yeah, they have moved away from that, which is nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Block with the firepower, or check the firepower. We're going to have to go in a little...
Are we going to go deeper, though? Nope. We're going to build.
Ambition's a good one, though. It's going to allow us a selective committal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is one of the best cards in the deck. Only building one actual foundation. It's got to feel a little rough, though. Because, like, a regular hand is not going to do it into Ghidorah. You have to have a pretty serious hand.
Oh, yeah, Double Knots Flask is nice. Just don't pour those into the first attack. I feel like he's going to go 4 firepower, Double Knots Flask.
The very first thing. No, he's learned. He's learned. This is our boy. He's learned. He's gone the distance this time.
Oh, Carl asked in the stream thing, would you ship to Australia for the webcam pricing? So what I'm doing for the international players for the webcam circuit is they can play and the majority of the pricing is simply dollars, and I can PayPal is not an issue to PayPal out to international players. I think Ghidorah just built a deadlock, although I don't know how much it matters. But if I ship product to overseas, it needs to be paid for by the overseas player, or they can just elect for me to maybe PayPal them a little more and I take their product.
Either way, they're probably pretty happy with the outcome.
Yeah. Still very open to international players.
Yeah, I used to, when I was running my webcam weeklies, I used to ship that out to them, and it would take like 6 stamps or something on the weekly packs, and then it would often get lost, and these poor guys would be like, hey man, I never got my thing from 8 months ago, and I have to be like, yeah, I'll ship it out again. I had one where I shipped it out 3 times over the course of a year, and the last time I was just like, hey man, can I just, I'll do it again. I will, but at this point, I spent $16 in stamps on this 2 bags. Can I just send you the $16, right? Okay, all right. So Ghidorah built, and we're gonna be opening with already slamming the Knots Flask on this guy just to make it 7 to force.
Man. So that says we're going in.
Used a bunch of speed hate here, I assume.
Ghidorah still does not have the momentum. We are down to 5. Double Twisting Azure. This is a good
start a turn.
It could lead to something.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be trying to seal either the dissolving the conflict or this one got used here. So going to force you to either commit 2 more foundations or and so I think with the usage of that Shigaraki foundation, you know what that Shigaraki card's called? I'm so bad with names, man. I'm most terrible with names. I gotta go.
Shigaraki cooperation offer?
No. It's a 2 diff that responds to give your opponent's check -2.
Oh, fighting for control. Yeah.
Fighting for control, right? Great name for a card, right? Because it's literally what he's doing in the moment. But with that gone, you got, if you're going to be going deep in this turn, right, which you can if you get both of these to 7, use that loss of consciousness to seal the dissolving the conflict right now, right?
Yeah, and there it goes.
Thank you, Max, for taking this one a little more seriously. Not responding, please respond. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, geez. Oh, I got scared. And then now we get to respond with any of the combined firepowers we may have in the discard pile. Not that that's going to be an issue. We also have a... Oh, Sam Tate's going to be so disappointed in me. Death, 1 difficulty, found a... I'm with you. Say that 5 times fast, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you. +2 damage.
Yeah. My least favorite thing about playing into these death decks, by the way, is when I present lethal and it's unblockable, they'll go, hold on, hold the phone. All right, I might mill something. And then they just start playing combined firepowers and trying to find him. I'm with yous. And like, maybe they hit 1 or 2, but then on the way they're giving it 5 more damage.
Somebody in chat is saying that the Ghidorah player used settling old debts, but Irwin is not at 6 foundations. So I can't remember it being, I don't remember it, but might have happened.
It looks like that card's face down. So yeah, I think that is true. He did do that. Let's let the team know. At Corino, we have, what's the name? What's the name of the card?
Settling old debts.
Settling old debts requirement wasn't fulfilled. I do that all the time, though, for what it's worth.
Yeah, and it looks like there's 6 because I don't know the assets.
Right, but there was only 4 to begin with.
Yeah, I don't see any combined firepowers in the discard pile of Irwin, which is a shame because this feels like we finally have an opportunity here to take down 1, maybe even 2 heads and put the game in reachable distance.
Oh, so he's going to be getting the game loss, it looks like here? Interesting.
Game loss seems a little harsh.
Yeah, a warning is, I don't know, maybe because it's the final. He might have had a warning earlier in the event.
Well, he got a game loss in the last round of Swiss.
Yeah, there you go.
Because of the tri-gravity beam. He used the tri-gravity beam after a faith shield took down an attack. So he got a game loss, but he still bubbled in despite it. And now he's in the finals. Comfortably took game 1. Oh, he scooped. He scooped.
Okay, he just said, hey, I screwed up. That's on me. Okay, fair enough. I did have probably the most legendary game loss in a finals that ever happened in UFS that I can remember was this dude named Jesse showed up for a retro event. It was one of the like online retro events on TTS that Jaska was running at the time. And in I think top 8, he mischained something, right? He made a mistake and then got a warning. In top 4, he made the same mistake, got a game loss, and then he made it to the finals, made the exact same mistake, and got a match loss. Just like
I think Sam might have told me about that.
Yeah, probably true. Probably, yeah. Sam was. I think he was commentating that event, and then the funniest part of this that Sam's involved in here is the next event. Sam showed up with that deck and then destroyed it. Just ran over the event with it.
What happened just then feels like he's scooping to using a settling old death differ. It's like, I don't know. I feel like he just committed seppuku and just, I'm sorry would have done.
Yeah. I feel like removing the card is enough in that situation.
Yeah. Like you don't have to go through with this. A build 2, not.
Wow. He is harsh on himself. Yeah, that's fair. Sometimes you gotta be. I respect it, I respect it. Sometimes we flub.
But could this go from like a Ghidorah 95% win chance because now we have oh my gosh. Okay. We didn't quite get there, but
be reasonable.
We have a very good Irwin build compared to a lackluster Ghidorah build. So
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden this thing went from really comfortably Ghidorah's to potentially Irwin ekes it out.
Man, and we drew more attacks. Gonna just build 2 again. Crazy.
Yeah, this is like Irwin went first now.
Yeah. This is like Irwin went first. Yeah, I think so. When I was rambling before you came back, I was talking about how I think this matchup on its face, Ghidorah has a lot of just his character has a lot of play against this Irwin deck. But I think that this is what I would call a true, skill matchup, right? Where the player who flexes their brain power is going to win. And we're seeing that so far, right? The first game was really just kind of a masterclass in how not to die against the Irwin. And the second game, right, we just didn't use our brain and didn't read the settling all debts, screwed up, and then happens, right? But I think that was a turn where we could have taken a lot of damage because we committed to block something really, really early.
Yeah.
So, okay, gonna go 2-drop a block. Picks up Airy? That's not a high block. I guess
Got the Vile Seasoning in hand.
Yeah, maybe we want to pick up something to build. If you're going to pick up something to build, may as well grab that Invincible body.
What are we looking at? Are we just saying that we can't pick up an asset? You can, right? Yeah, you can pick up an asset.
You can pick up any card that is 3 difficulty or less.
Oh, I think the question was it was checked. The area was checked, and so it was like, can you pick up?
Yes, you still can, because you remove it for cost, make the check for cost, and then you read the ability of the card.
Yeah.
There's no targeting in this game, right? Is something that people talk about in other games. Like, do we know what we picked up?
Yeah, he picked up like a 1 diff. I'll type that here. He should have been able to pick up Airy.
Yeah.
Probably not a huge deal, but
No, I doubt it. And unfortunately, discarding the true 100%, it's got to feel bad. But Breaker 1 blocking, it's got to feel good.
yeah, and we have another fighting for control for 2 more in case, so we're making Irwin at least think.
Yeah, enough Breaker in this deck does kind of feel it. Right? It's gonna have to get a bigger board. And since we've been destroying foundations already, it's oh wow, still going in. Will we see the fighting for control flipped? Would you flip it? Or would you say, hey man, you're walking into it?
Yeah, I think I would, just because a successful Twisting Azure Inferno means your fighting for control is not that good later.
Right.
But now we're through the Breaker 1. We elected to fail it. Might just mean we have lots of gas in our hand.
Yeah, Wall Maria's on a 6.
Draw 1.
I mean, even better than that is that it'll get the counter, which means you can destroy this face down and replace it with Irwin. If it's one of those Bing Bong cards, those Broberging cards, then you get to start your chain of combined.
It's true. It's true.
By the way, this is pretty funny. We're in the 3rd game, and we have not seen a single Ghidorah head taken off. Not something you expect to hear or say any day,
That is not normal. I think I know the way to win right now against the King Ghidorah player is just to find the first time they make the smallest rules infraction.
The few times I played against them, it's usually just I milled them out, to be honest. Because that character's not good at killing people.
Which one?
Ghidorah. Yeah. Oh no, the death decks, that's impossible. You got to kill those guys. Milling them that's a fool's errand.
Yeah, Ghidorah. Ghidorah feels like the character where it's like, I'm going to stall the game out and I'm going to wait for you to mess up versus me.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And then you get in big trouble.
Okay, using 2 combines on this again, right? Finding a situation where, okay, that's a big move. That's a very big move.
Yeah, we get the risky. I think we're going to try and get this thing up to 10 damage. It's
Yeah, if it wasn't there yet, the Knots Flask surely will be okay.
the 3 check. Can he still pass it? It should be on a 7, 8, 9.
Well, it was I don't think Irwin destroyed anything for the speed.
Oh.
So it was only 4 speed, right?
5 speed base.
Oh wow.
Oh, but we have unmatched quickness.
Yeah, the quickness.
Yeah, if we had destroyed a foundation, we take ahead.
Rough.
Ouch. And we didn't even get a build. It feels like a wasted turn. I mean, but why didn't we keep attacking if we can't build?
I don't know. Another build too? I mean, at this point, we've built twice 3 turns in a row and have more foundations, more of a developed board than the player who got to build 5 going first, which is not what we wanted to see.
Yeah, on Irwin's side, we gotta commit, or we gotta
one way or the other.
Yeah,
I think with 4 foundations, there's no world where Ghidorah kills you. You just play your whole hand out there. Oh. All right. Over under on playing all 3 combines on this one move.
And how many of them get played after the high block gets removed with Ghidorah?
What did we pick up there with Fierce Wings? I didn't see. Too quick. These guys are too quick for me.
I think that might have happened last turn.
No, I think he just used a second one, I believe.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite cards, by the way. I am such a fan.
I got dunked on it at Atlanta, actually. Round 4, I'm playing against the Hawks, and I barrier shield their super fast attack, and they Cohen must task me.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's all right. I have a second barrier shield in my hand, because I've sculpted at this point. And then he goes, Fierce Wings, pick up Cohen must task.
Oh my gosh.
Like, all right, that's handshakes. I die.
Chat informed me that the Fierce Wings was discarded to Ghidorah to get the low block, or removed from hand to get the low block. Okay. That makes sense. Makes sense. So we didn't pick up anything at all. I didn't miss anything. Actually, I'm super smart and based.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We are just gonna play all the combines on it. Well, it's getting a trillion damage, and the Aaron's trial is gonna. Yep. Well, this is gonna be the easiest one high block I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean the only explanation I can think of for like just using all the fire powers right away is just to get the maximum number of discard pile effects off at the beginning rather than later. But
I got it. I think the answer is just because he can.
Yeah, it is a choice.
So I think he does not get the opportunity to respond there, because as soon as the last card gets discarded from the deck, you must cycle. So it's a good thing he didn't respond with the loss of consciousness, which is one of those weird, unintuitive parts of the game, that as soon as you cycle, or as soon as you hit the last card of your deck, leaving the discard pile or leaving the deck, you must stop the game, right? game state pauses, right, while I cycle.
Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to have shuffled those 3 cards back in. Oh no, maybe.
Yes, yeah, they hit his discard pile. He would just mill one
Okay.
more after the fact. Yes, they were supposed to go back into the deck.
And here comes the block, breaker 1.
Man. What were you playing in Atlanta?
Oh, a mill version of Rodan.
Okay.
I was playing 30 cards that remove rival attacks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was and then just trying to survive for forever. And so I won about half my games through mill and then half my games through my rival just committing everything out in desperation. And then
and then just 2-tap them with something.
Yeah, and then just tripping into a win. It was fun. I felt like it was a good call. I just at round 1, I got paired into Carson playing a 120 card deck. And so Mill just wasn't an option, but he was also playing like a very defensive deck. So and then round 3, I got matched into Recovery Girl. I think I was 1 turn away from like establishing a pretty dominant. I had removed like 12 attacks, but it was just that they were making everything a throw. So I had like 14 cards of throw hate, but I couldn't survive for forever.
Right.
Against the Recovery Girl. So it felt like I was all prepared for the Smiling Titans and the Risky Encounter decks because I had all sorts of things to remove Risky Encounter from discard pile and remove firepowers, like between Confused and Lurker Strike and things like. But I was not prepared for the 120 card deck matchup and the Recovery Girl matchup.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, pairing math matters, man. Right, like what I would call win path, right? Like how many decks did Kevin Burberg play on his way to the event that were, quote unquote easy matchups? I don't think the final 2 were easy for him, right? I think Smiling Titan, I would give the edge in that matchup. That's just Kevin Burberg's difference, right? Like in the game that I watched in top 4, Smiling Titan explicitly had to check 2 4s in a row on 2 consecutive turns to not kill him, right? Kind of thing, right? Stuff happens, and Kevin played it immaculately, right? But like, it does suck to go to an event and just be like, I was prepared for this thing, and then I played all of the off the wall stuff on the other side of the room. I've been there, right? Like I played a at Nationals 2 years ago. I played a Jiro deck that was like, I dumpster Kirishima 2. Like there's every time I played it, I destroy it. But I had problems with Tokiyami. and so I was like, the Tokiyamis are all going to die to Kirishimas, right? And so I just have to win the first 2 rounds. And I won the first 2 rounds. And then I started playing. And then after that, I think I played 4 consecutive Tokiyamis. I played a Tokiyama round 1, and then I played a Monoma, and then I played a Kirishima, and I went finally, and then I played 4 straight Tokiyamis, and I went, oh, all right, well, I've come to the event to play not Tokiyami, and I played it 5 times. so sometimes you get unlucky.
Yeah, it was the same thing that happened to me at Regional 1 too. Like I brought Void Jin and I just thought, okay, I win all my younger Toguro matchups, but I lose all my Amajiki matchups, and then I play 2 Amajikis, and
of course,
yeah, it's like, well, what can you do? I wish they would tell you your matchups ahead of time.
Yeah. Let me just call it right one time. I like that very much. I've had the flip side of that, of course, right? Sometimes you show up prepared for something and you only play that, right? And that feels really good, of course, when you make a meta call and you're correct. But yeah, missing it is tough. Missing it is, especially when you're like, I'm conceding that I will lose this one thing that will be in the room somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they flip the character over and you go, oh man.
I wish I would have known this before I bought the plane ticket and the hotel and the.
Yeah. I paid for this jersey for all my friends.
Yeah.
So here we see Villainous Teamwork being played again, which I think is one of my favorite little tech pieces for this specific format. assets are so strong right now. And getting a twisting Azure Inferno out of your opponent's hand has got to feel good. Wait, hang on. Is this twisting? Whose turn is it? I thought this was Ghidorah's turn.
Yeah, it's Ghidorah's turn.
Okay. All right.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Never
not.
mind.
We just have a villainous teamwork in our card pool.
I guess we just.
I thought this was Ghidorah's turn. I'm so confused.
Well, no, we definitely played a villainous teamwork last turn because there's no more Knott's Flask.
Maybe it's just. Yeah, that's what I said. Maybe we just forgot to clear it from the card pool.
It's just hanging.
It's just hanging out.
Yeah, I feel like this is like similar to game one, where like the game ended turn 2 when we just randomly decided to stop.
We just realized it. Okay, excellent. All right, good. Okay. I was like a little confused there. Okay,
I think the game ended when he didn't put the speed on Walmaria's Might to make it unblockable on a 3 check, and then when he decided just to stop because the game just kind of stalled. At this point, it's looking like Ghidorah has established the defensive position to where I'm not sure Irwin can put up the offense anymore.
Yeah, which is honestly quite tragic because, we had every opportunity, right? 3 consecutive build 2s. You should have, as Irwin, had 12 foundations, right? You should have had 15 foundations. Screw it, right? When my opponent builds 2 turn 1, and after I build 5 and then builds 2 more, I'm off to the races, right? I'm building everything out of my hand. I'm playing everything in my hand. And so the fact that that didn't happen is a pretty big bummer, right? Now we have the opposite end of the spectrum where Irwin is the one with no foundations, right? No assets either. And we've used combined firepowers 5 times, right? We've milled ourselves 25 cards. So our opponent is so far ahead of us on the mill plan. And yeah, so we're going to see the 2-tap sort of scenario again where attack to make your opponent commit cards because Irwin doesn't have very much in the way of defense into a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 speed for 9, looks like.
Yeah, I think we also like respond with everything. So like all those responses like aren't going to be there the next time. I just want to see one Ghidorah head killed.
Yeah, me too. So one of the things to talk about actually is the sneaky defense this deck has because of the milling, right? You can be, instead of fishing for the Aaron's trials on your own turn, one thing I saw Kevin do a lot of the time was use them defensively, which is the first time I've seen done was just now, right? Destroyed a face down and it was, surprise Aaron's trial. That, forcing committal on your opponent's turn when they're not expecting it with mills and with cards from your staging area can be really, really good. And that's how you get them in a situation where you flip the script on the Ghidorah. The Ghidorah really wants you to mess up and overcommit. And Aaron has these weird cards that, aren't coming from your staging area. They're from hand or from deck that can do, can stymie the aggression and also put you in a really bad position defensively on the follow-up turn. And I think that's the big difference in this specific matchup is that playing a regular game in the Ghidorah doesn't work ever, So
yeah, I feel like destroying a face down Aaron's trials on your opponent's turn. That's like the original outwit.
Yeah. It's like Electric Jolt Part 2, right?
Hey, this isn't the deck that's supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, wait, hang on. If we don't die, okay, we died. Okay, that's the end of it, guys.
Yeah, that felt like game 1. Like we were dead long before that, but
yes, yeah. Sort of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it's like the Walking Dead.
But even then, I think that if Max had a high block, we could have easily blocked that. That thing's only 4 speed, right?
Yeah.
So with Aaron up, you could be blocking it on a 4 or 5. So
well, there you go. We got Torin with the win here. The only thing that could take Torin down this event was himself through self-inflicted judge damage twice over. Other than that, he wasn't able to be beaten. A lot of high-powered decks here. Today we had 12 unique characters, and just nobody in the end could crack the Ghidorah counters.
Yeah, the wall of Ghidorah. I wonder, we should ask him how many heads he lost throughout the event. Either way. Okay, well, David, yeah, I know you got to go to bed, buddy. It's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you for hanging out. And thanks to our friends over in Oceania for running this stream and for playing these games. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it. I appreciated hanging out with you, and I appreciated Carl Bennett putting this whole thing together, making the stream happen. This almost looked, I mean, UVS Games, you almost got one up for free by a community member here, putting together a stream because it looks pretty dang clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a great job. I like this like squiggly purple stuff background he's got going on. It's cool. That's cool stuff. Yeah, thanks Carl Bennett for putting it together, and to the other guys who last minute brought together a commentary team.
Yeah, you, Barrett, Sam, I appreciated hanging out. To Torin, I'll see you in Florida.
Yeah,
in February, you better make the trip. But don't bring Ghidorah, please.
Yeah, something else. It didn't work well for you today, so.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you around.
All right. Good night.